Chuck Norris built his reputation not through loud words or dramatic gestures, but through a calm and steady presence that spoke for itself. He was never the kind of man to chase attention or involve himself in unnecessary conflict. Instead, he believed that true strength came from restraint, the ability to walk away rather than prove a point. For decades, that approach defined both his personal life and professional career. Whether in martial arts, film, or public life, he carried himself with discipline and purpose. That consistency earned him respect across generations. So when he eventually chose to speak openly about disappointment and respect, it wasn't seen as anger. It felt more like a rare glimpse into the values he had quietly upheld all along, values shaped by a lifetime of experience, reflection, and personal growth. Early life and the search for confidence. Born in 1940 in Ryan, Oklahoma, Chuck Norris grew up in an environment that offered few comforts and even fewer guarantees. His childhood was marked by financial struggle and emotional uncertainty, especially as his family dealt with instability at home. His mother became the steady force in his life, raising her children with determination despite difficult circumstances. Norris himself has often described his younger self as shy and unsure, someone who lacked confidence and avoided confrontation. These early experiences didn't make him strong overnight, but they planted the seeds for a deeper transformation later in life. He wasn't born with the confidence people later associated with him. Instead, he had to build it slowly, learning through experience that strength is not something given. It's something earned over time. Discovering discipline through martial arts, everything began to change when Norris joined the United States Air Force and was stationed in South Korea. It was there that he encountered martial arts, an experience that would reshape his entire outlook on life. Training demanded focus, patience, and consistency, qualities that helped him develop both physically and mentally. What started as a new activity soon became a guiding philosophy. Martial arts taught him not just how to defend himself, but how to control his thoughts, emotions, and reactions. That sense of discipline became the foundation for everything he achieved afterward. When he returned to the United States, he carried that mindset with him, opening schools and teaching others what he had learned. It wasn't just about technique. It was about helping others find the same sense of direction he once lacked. Rising to recognition without losing balance. As Norris's reputation grew, so did his opportunities. By the late 1960s, he was winning major competitions and earning respect within the martial arts community. His transition into film came through connections built on that foundation, including his collaboration with Bruce Lee. That moment introduced him to a global audience, opening doors to a career in Hollywood. Yet even as his fame increased, he remained grounded. He avoided the excesses that often came with success and stayed focused on his principles. While others sought attention, he continued teaching, training, and prioritizing family. This balance became one of his defining traits. He showed that it was possible to succeed in a highly competitive industry without losing sight of personal values or becoming consumed by ego. Different personalities in a changing industry. Over time, the entertainment world evolved, bringing in new styles, attitudes, and expectations. With that shift came differences in how people approached both performance and public image. Some leaned into showmanship and humor, while others maintained a more traditional, disciplined approach. Norris represented the latter, valuing respect and authenticity above all else. At times, these differences led to misunderstandings or contrasting viewpoints. What one person saw as harmless entertainment, another might view as lacking respect. Rather than turning these moments into public disputes, Norris typically chose to remain quiet. His silence wasn't avoidance. It was a reflection of how he believed situations should be handled. He focused on his own path, allowing his actions and character to speak louder than any response could. The importance of respect in his philosophy. Respect was central to everything Norris believed in, especially within martial arts. To him, it wasn't just a rule, it was the foundation of the entire practice. Without it, the discipline lost its meaning. This perspective shaped how he interacted with others, both within and outside his field. When he encountered behavior that didn't align with that principle, he didn't react with confrontation. Instead, he chose distance. For Norris, walking away was often more powerful than engaging in conflict. It preserved his values while avoiding unnecessary negativity. This approach may have seemed reserved to some, but it reflected a deeper understanding of strength. It showed that maintaining integrity sometimes means stepping back rather than stepping forward into situations that don't align with your beliefs. Humor, interpretation, and public image. As his fame grew, Norris also became a subject of humor and internet culture, with exaggerated stories and jokes spreading widely. Many of these were meant as lighthearted tributes, celebrating his larger-than-life persona. However, humor can be interpreted in different ways, depending on perspective. While some saw it as admiration, others might see it as diminishing something meaningful. Norris generally handled these moments with composure, rarely addressing them directly. His focus remained on maintaining dignity and staying true to himself. This balance between public image and personal values is something many public figures navigate, and Norris approached it with the same steady mindset that defined the rest of his life. He understood that not every perception needed a response. A complex but meaningful friendship. One of the most significant relationships in Norris's life was his friendship with Bruce Lee. Their connection was built on shared dedication and mutual respect for martial arts. They trained together, challenged each other, and contributed to each other's growth. Like many strong relationships, it wasn't without its complexities. Differences in personality and professional pressures created moments of tension, but they never erased the respect they had for one another. After Bruce Lee's passing, Norris spoke about him with admiration, acknowledging both his talent and his impact. Their story serves as a reminder that meaningful relationships are rarely perfect. They involve growth, understanding, and sometimes distance, but they leave a lasting influence that extends far beyond any single moment. Choosing peace. Over conflict, throughout his life, Norris consistently chose a path of peace rather than confrontation. Even when faced with situations that could have escalated into public disputes, he maintained his composure. This approach wasn't about avoiding challenges, it was about deciding which ones were worth engaging in. By focusing on what truly mattered to him, family, discipline, and personal growth, he avoided being pulled into unnecessary negativity. This mindset allowed him to maintain a sense of balance in an industry that often rewards drama. It also reinforced the idea that strength is not measured by how many conflicts someone enters, but by how wisely they choose them. His example shows that restraint can be just as powerful as action. The personal side of a public figure. Behind the public image, Norris lived a life shaped by family, faith, and personal reflection. He valued time with loved ones and often stepped away from the spotlight to focus on what mattered most. These choices reflected a deeper understanding of success, one that goes beyond career achievements. While his professional accomplishments were significant, his personal values remained at the center of his life. He demonstrated that it's possible to build a legacy without losing sight of what truly matters. This balance between public and private life added depth to his story, showing that even those who appear larger than life are guided by the same need for connection, meaning, and peace. A lasting lesson in strength and character. Chuck Norris's story is ultimately about more than martial arts or Hollywood success. It's about character, how a person chooses to live, respond, and grow over time. His emphasis on discipline, respect, and quiet strength offers a perspective that feels increasingly rare. He showed that real power doesn't need to be loud or visible at all times. Sometimes, it's found in patience, in restraint, and in the ability to walk away when necessary. His life leaves behind a simple but powerful message. Strength is not just about what you can do, but about what you choose not to do. That lesson continues to resonate, offering guidance that extends far beyond any single career or moment in time.